chanting the holy names of the Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart, and who is a mine of auspicious qualities. So this particular word, mine, is interesting because there's another word in English we call mind, M-I-N-D, but here we have M-I-N-E, mine, which means like a gold mine. It's like where you go to dig out jewels and gold. You go to a mine, you make a mine so that you can dig out gold and you can dig out jewels. So it is said here that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart, and He is a mine of auspicious qualities. So that we know that the next verse of the Shikshastakam, it says that the Lord has invested all His transcendental energies in His holy name. So that means that everything is there in the holy name. So the holy name itself is that gold mine. So every morning, or whenever we chant the holy name, we are actually standing at the entry of a gold mine, of a mine of jewels, like really, because He says He's invested all His transcendental energies in that holy name. So in order to find all these jewels and find all this gold, then simply to enter within that mine, one has to chant attentively. That's the beginning. Otherwise we can see, we may go into a mine, but if you can't see anything there, a mine, there's no sunlight there. Like you say, if you think of a mine, and if you go into that mine, it's a hole in the mountain, so to speak. And if you go in there, you walk maybe 10-20 meters, then it's completely dark. You can't see anything. If you can't see anything, how are you going to see jewels? How are you going to see gold? But if you have a flashlight, and you have a light with you, then you can see, is there any jewels here? Is there any gold here? So you can see our attention when we chant is like our flashlight. You may say this, I'm just coming up with this example, that it is our light that we'll be able to see something. And if we don't chant attentively, we won't see anything. It'll just be darkness. And then when we've done our 16 rounds, we're finished. So we stood at the entry of the gold mine, and we went into the gold mine even, but we couldn't find anything, because we couldn't see anything. So we can take that, we have to turn on our flashlight, and then enter into the mine with attention to chant, and then Krishna willing, by His grace, we may find these jewels, we may start to find gold, start to find jewels, and then one becomes, and one is so fortunate that one finds the little jewels, one starts to find some gold. And then there's another test, because then you may be proud and say, yes, I found, I'm great, I'm fantastic, I found all these jewels like that, oh, so wonderful. So then you may see one may become proud, but then the test is that you shouldn't be proud of what you found there. You shouldn't use that to aggrandize yourself. So then it is generally said that the devotee who's really advanced, he doesn't advertise himself as being advanced. No, he doesn't make a big show. He doesn't make a big advertisement. That I found this jewels, I found this gold, like that. He's very careful. Because he knows that the Lord, he doesn't like devotees to advertise themselves so much, because what happens is that in the process of advertising oneself, then one forgets the Lord. So Krishna doesn't want us to forget Him. So therefore, He doesn't like it when devotees, they become too eager to advertise themselves or to promote themselves, what they have achieved in Krishna consciousness. So we should understand by that if by chanting the holy names of the Lord we get some profound realizations, that we should be not so eager to promote it too much, but to keep it to ourselves. And then just try to be steady, chant nicely steady, so it can become fixed. Our level of chanting can become fixed at the level of attention. We want to regularly chant with attention. We want to make that the standard, rather than the standard being to chant inattentively. So the second part of the translation, because this verse is spoken by Yamaraj, he says that such persons who chant the holy names of the Lord as a devotional service, and who find all the jewels, auspicious qualities, jewels and gold of the Lord's auspicious qualities within the heart. He says that such persons are not within my jurisdiction for punishment. And we should probably also give a little context here, that again, Yamaraj is speaking to his servants, and Yamaraj's servants, they are in charge of bringing all sinful people to be taken to hell for punishment. That is Yamaraj speaking, and he's speaking to his servants so that they may know that these persons you don't take. Like these persons, they are not for you to touch or to approach. You know, these persons, they are under special authority. They are under higher authority than mine. So never go anywhere near these persons. So like this, the Yamadutas, they are instructed, and Yamaraj, he qualifies that even though you may see these persons, they may commit a sinful activity, because sometimes a devotee who takes to chanting as devotional, because he has still impurities within his heart, he's not matured yet in devotional service, he's still cleaning his heart. He may out of old habit do something sinful, and the Yamaraj and the Yamadutas, they may see, they may observe this person, he did something sinful, and they may think, okay, now he's on the list. But here Yamaraj says that even though you may see that they commit something sinful, still you should not approach them, because they always chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So this is the Lord also. He speaks about this in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, "Apichet su duracharo," that even if a devotee may commit some abominable activities, one should still consider him a sadhu. One should still consider him a saintly person, because he is fixed in his determination. So that means that a devotee, even though he may commit this, he may regret. Immediately the symptom, if a devotee commits something sinful, immediately he will be regretful. He will think that I shouldn't have done this. Really, it was bad. It was, out of my old habit, I again did this. I may have smoked a cigarette, or I may have, done something improper, in relation to the opposite sex. And I did this, it's sinful, I shouldn't have done it, I really don't feel good about it, and it's just my bad, it's just my old life, I'm trying to, I'm trying again to go back to that, but it's just misery, I just remembered right now, immediately, it was all the way suffering, and it's again suffering, so it's no use of it. So that's the way a devotee will think, and then he will rectify himself, and for that, when that devotee has such a rectifying mentality, then he is immediately excused. But within that purport, Srila Prabhupada says that one should not take advantage of the Lord's mercy. The Lord says He forgives, but we should not take advantage and thinking that, okay, I may do the sinful activities, and if I just remember to regret it, or try to regret it, then Lord, He will forgive. So Prabhupada wants that one should not take advantage. Because if we go on committing sinful activities, if we go back to our old life and just continue and just thinking always that the Lord will simply excuse us because we have chanted Hare Krishna once, we have sometime chanted Hare Krishna, and that will be enough to be excused. Then we should take it also in this way. That's enough. That's not enough, because it is said that they are protected from sinful reaction because they always chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So the condition to be excused by the Lord is that you must always chant and not make a habit of again committing sinful activities, going back to old lives. We have to give it up. Once we have understood that Krishna is who He is, and that we are souls, that we are eternal servants. We cannot go back to old material life. We cannot leave Him and go back to old material habits and expect to be excused. There is a condition there. If we want to be saved from the reaction of our sinful life, of our sinful deeds, we must continuously chant. We must continuously go back to the Lord's service and not leave Him again. And if we make that determination in the heart, never to leave the Lord, never to turn our back again, then we will get all protection. Then we won't see again the dangerous face, you can say the ugly face of the material energy, the fearful face of material energy. So that condition is there, and that determination we must somehow make up within ourselves. So that was pretty much the translation of today's verse. I just wanted also to see if there was something in the purport, and there is one point in the purport which is important and interesting, and that is that Srila Prabhupada, he says that one may be a very learned scholar in the Vedic Shastras and be completely unaware of the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His name, fame, qualities, and so on, so forth. So this is quite interesting, because if we have some, acquaintance with the Vedic scriptures, actually you find that the Lord is mentioned everywhere. But you can say, if you read all the Vedic scriptures, you can't avoid, coming across the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As in Bhagavad Gita, it says, Aham Sarvasya Bhavago Mata Savam Pravatate Iti Mahprabhajatevam Buddha Bhava Samavita. So the Lord, He identifies Himself in the Vedic Shastra. He says, here I am, I am the source of everything. I'm the one who created this material world. And those who are wise, they worship Him with all their hearts. So he directly presents Himself in the Vedic Shastras. Still, there are some who neglect to see Him. They may just take these verses and twist them in such a way that it's not. They will think that it's not exactly what the Lord says here, that He is the source. There's something else beyond Krishna. So even though one may study this text, one may twist the meaning, and still one may miss the point, which is quite remarkable, because the Sanskrit itself in Bhagavad Gita, it is very straightforward. It's simple and straightforward, and to twist it, you really need to be creative, and you can also say that Sankaracharya, he commented on the Bhagavad Gita as far as I'm informed, but he didn't touch the Bhagavatam. And as far as I'm informed by the devotees, that he didn't touch the Bhagavatam because the Bhagavatam is so obvious. To twist the Bhagavatam, it's really not possible, because it is so obvious, in its presentation of Krishna. So in that sense, Sankaracharya, he didn't go and make a comment. He made a comment on the Vedanta Sutra, but not on the Vyasadev's commentary to the Vedanta Sutra. So the point is that these Vedic literatures, Srimad Bhagavatam, they're so direct, they're so full of Krishna. So how to overlook Krishna in these scriptures and not find out that Krishna is the Supreme Personality from the descriptions, like Krishna's tu Bhagavan Svayam, not to twist that into meaning something else. It really needs creativity, and a lack of a stubborn intelligence to just not see Krishna. You don't want to see Krishna. So, but nevertheless, Srila Prabhupada mentions here that one may be a learned scholar, that one may be very, learned in all these Vedic texts, but still not be able to understand who is Krishna. And then it says that one who may not know so many scriptures, simply if he's engaged, or what does Srila Prabhupada says, if he somehow or other becomes a pure devotee of the Lord by engaging in devotional service. So one does not need to be a great scholar. So what is counted actually is from Krishna's side, if that one serves him with a pure heart. Well, that is what what Krishna he sees and what he reciprocates with. It's not the amount of shlokas we know, but it is the purity of our intention. So that is something that one may do without being, very well versed. But being well versed, we may say, it may help, because if we take the Vedic literatures in the right way, if we study them properly, then they will sharpen our intelligence, and we'll be convinced. And for most of us, it's a problem that we're not convinced, that we're not really convinced that Krishna is the Lord, and we may not be convinced that in the holy name of the Lord has invested all his transcendental energies. We may not be convinced that all these gold and all these jewels, they are available in the holy name. We may not be convinced about that. And for that purpose, we may need to very minutely study the evidence, the scriptural evidence ourselves, for our intelligence to be purified and cleared, so that we may actually come to understand what actually is a fact. I've heard this being spoken so many times in Bhagavatam lecture, that yes, the holy name of the Lord is all auspicious, and Krishna is really there in his holy name, all these auspicious qualities available in the holy name. We may have heard this, I've heard this before, but I didn't understand it until now. Now when I really went into depth, when I read it myself, when I studied myself, and like that. So it may be required that one digs oneself into the holy name or the scriptures by oneself, in order to really come to appreciate what is being said, what we hear being spoken. And it may not be required. It may be that simply we hear and we accept. That all depends on who we are and what's the condition of our mind, what's the condition of where we are in the terms of our guna and karma. Like that, this will all have a meaning of how we accept it. But one way or the other, one may accept it in whatever one is qualified. If one is qualified to take it in that way directly, then it's well and good. But if not, Srila Prabhupada, he made all the scriptures available so that we could become convinced. He wanted to convince us that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He wanted to convince us that our prime occupation is to serve him with all love and attention. So that's the conclusion, and that's what we get if we dig ourselves into Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita and his Bhagavatam especially. If we simply do that, then Srila Prabhupada, he will convince us. No, Srila Prabhupada will manage to convince us. If we simply stick to it. So, this is the points of this verse and Srila Prabhupada's purport today, as far as I could take it out. So, is there anyone who would like to contribute with a comment or question? You should have 5-10 minutes time. Okay, then Kevin, we had time.
I would just like to thank you for the purport and the nice analogy of the gold mine. I think it's very nice, linking the attention with the flashlight. So if we want to get the gold, we just need to be attentive. That I thought was very inspiring.
Thank you very much.
I was wondering, as one may understand something theoretically, what is the difference between understanding something perfectly and maybe just saying something from the Bhagavad Gita and say, oh, now I understood it?
Yeah, that is you see, the Krishna consciousness itself is a lifestyle. We may take the theory of Krishna consciousness, like we read the Bhagavad Gita and we get some points from the Bhagavad Gita and we think it's very nice. This makes sense to us even. But in order to really hold that information, that verses of the Bhagavad Gita within our hearts, and to really live that, we need to make devotional service our lifestyle. And the problem is that we come from a material lifestyle where we're used to our mind being engaged in sense gratification. We're using our mind for sense gratification. So in that, it won't help immediately if you just put some verses from the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavata into our dirty mind and think the problem is solved immediately. You know, the problem is only solved until our lifestyle is changed. And that's actually why we come to the temple, is to have our lifestyle changed. We come to the association of devotees so that we can be engaged like throughout the day in activities, in Krishna conscious activities. That if we do these activities with attention, then we'll be able to convert our lifestyle from a material lifestyle to a transcendental spiritual lifestyle. So then we really understand and appreciate these points, and we really be able to make sense of these points. You know, if we're able to change our lifestyle from material lifestyle to spiritual lifestyle, Krishna conscious lifestyle, and actually the key point in transforming your lifestyle from a material lifestyle to Krishna conscious lifestyle is that the activities which you are scheduled to do, which you are instructed to do, like I say, that we get to do, that we do these activities of Krishna consciousness with attention. Because then you are leaving your material thoughts. As soon as you're doing devotion activities and your mind is in the material lifestyle, you know, it doesn't really work. You know, it won't make this won't make perfect sense to you, because you won't be happy. Because you came here to be happy, but you're not happy, because you're living in dual worlds. Your body is engaged in Krishna conscious activity, but your mind is in the material lifestyle, and you're not happy. So the conclusion would be, I'm not happy, so I didn't get what I came here for. I want to be happy. I'm not happy, so I didn't get what I came to get. But only if you do your devotional service with attention, then you get the happiness, and then you'll be able to appreciate, yes, I came and I got what I wanted to get. You know. So it takes this attention in order for you to understand actually what you're doing. And the problem is that most devotees, they don't know what they're doing. This was actually spoken like that to me by Chandramoli Swami. He came here and he gave one lecture, and he frankly said that the problem is that most devotees, they don't know what they're doing. No. They don't know the value of what they're doing, they don't know the significance of what they're doing, or the purport to what they're doing. No, they're doing, but their mind, they're not fully aware of how they really should be doing this activity, the real proper way of executing this activity. And that knowledge may be lacking, and that's why you won't be able to put your whole heart into it, and your whole focus, whole energy. But that is cleared up by Srila Prabhupada. If you're able just to study sincerely and soberly Srila Prabhupada's books and take good instruction from advanced devotees, then all this cloudiness, it will be dissipated like over time. So then when you have this knowledge and when you can engage with attention in your services, then you may get that happiness. And then you'll be, you can say, at ease with all these instructions. They will make sense to you, but they don't make perfect sense until you convert your lifestyle. Unless and until we convert our lifestyles fully from the material lifestyle to the transcendental Krishna conscious lifestyle. And that may take some time. So therefore Rupa Goswami also says patience. He says enthusiasm, utsaha, and he says determination, drithavata, and he says also dharyat, that one should have patience, because it takes time. And that's the problem, we're not patient. Like by nature, most of us, we don't have a very patient nature, because we're used to everything fast. It's the modern advancement civilization, the invention of the microwave, the faster computer, like everything now, everything fast. But that is not to change one's lifestyle, from the material to the spiritual, that takes a lot of patience. But if one simply sticks it out and doesn't leave it, it works over time. And if one just remembers this point, I have to do it with attention, I have to really put my mind into it. It's not enough just my body is doing it, my mind must also be there. If you can just remember this point, you'll make advancement, just a simple point. That's what essentially it takes to make advancement continuously. So I'd like to thank you very much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavatam ki jai.